What's going on, guys? How are you? This is Friday, September 11, and this is S&P 500 2000 tick chart. Rollover date was pretty good. You can see we have already a lot of price action going. We closed around 33, 37, and yeah, it was a pretty good day. Looking kind of rangy. This was the big picture for the day. Early on, very range-like, up and down, up and down, up and down. But you can see that the bulls couldn't really push the market higher. Every move higher, it failed big time. So the bears, they won today. And I was actually looking on a higher time frames, even though I don't really do that specifically that much. But on the higher time frames, you could have picked up that the market is looking a little bit bearish, a little bit correction now. But I don't recommend using multiple time frames. If you choose one and stick to it, you're going to be much more successful. Anyway, this is where I entered. I came in at 1450. This is what I saw. And of course, we had a trend line working higher. We had an overshoot. An overshoot means we may get a break of the trend line, which happened here. Little overshoot, and you can, a lot of times it's going to be even measured. You can see that, look at this. The amount it overshot, the same amount it broke the trend line. So pay attention to these overshoots on the other side, because that will, a lot of times it will lead to reversal. So you get a break, new high, price is kind of consolidated here. This is looking very congestion like. This is still early session. I mean, nobody's gonna trade this probably, because I don't recommend trading these very early sessions. The volatility is kind of low, and not that many traders, professional traders, institutions are trading. But when I entered, I saw this downtrend working lower, so this is what I drew. You can very easily find this trend line from the first few swings. Look at this, first two swings, third swing it confirmed, fourth swing another confirmation. So this was the first trade I took. It worked, I got my 10 ticks out of it. But this is a first entry long, first entry short, second entry short in a downtrend off the EMA and off the trend line. Market moves in twos, 2x. See, you get a little bit prematurely. 2x to the key entry point. I took this, but we had the trend line working higher, and you probably should have waited for a break and a new high and then take this short, because we are still waiting for the new low of this trend line working lower. And market is very range like. This is not, when you look at the right side of the chart, this is very range like. This is not an uptrend, So I was expecting prices to get down to this level. So I got a little bit earlier here, but nevertheless, rules say that two-legged pullbacks at the key entry point, EMA and trend line, you have to take, and it worked for scalp, So this is how we do it. We are not swing traders, we're scalpers, and perfect quick scalp at the open, move higher. This was the better trade you should have taken. Prices spiked down. Then we had first entry, second entry short. I didn't take this. I waited for this bar when we made a lower high. This is horrible bar. When I was trading, the tick chart looked much better. I had actually a bearish bar with a bearish body, and it ticked above, so it made a lower high. This is the thing with tick chart. Some of you're not gonna have the same tick chart as me, because once you refresh your tick chart, it will change the bars a little bit, just a little bit, nothing crucial. But just remember that tick charts, they are not static, and if you refresh them, or if you get a little bit different data provider, you will have a little bit different bars. Nevertheless, I was still, waiting for market to get to these lows. This was a second entry short. Market moves in twos. EMA rejected the price. Excuse me. And Once you made a lower high here, I put my limit order here and I quick scalp once again. And again, bulls, they try to rally up. They got quickly reversed. I don't know, there is no setup here. There's no way you can, go short here using any price action rule. You would be just guessing. And actually, I forget to mark this. This is where I went long. I just saw this big spike up. A lot of times after break and a new low and clear spike like this, you're gonna bounce off this support. So I was just, and I had much smaller signal bar. So I was just, heck yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, take it. And I knew this was a low probability trade, but the reward can be big. You can get a lot of runners here. So I got stopped out here and I re-entered here. This is where I re-entered. Again, my signal bar looked a little bit different, a little bit better. This is where I re-entered because this is starting to look like bottoming pattern. Prices are like heading lower, and I thought they were gonna trap me again. But I was banking on that a lot of institutions, a lot of smart traders are gonna go long here because somebody that missed this move and this move, they went short right here. They're going short because they're waiting for prices to confirm that, oh, look at this big downtrend. Look at this big downtrend, how it's trending lower. I can't miss it. I can't miss it. I gotta go short now, and boom, they get trapped exactly at the low of the day, and prices bounce on them. Of course, this was just temporary correction. I don't see any setup here. This was very tempting to take. I wanted to take this. I didn't get filled. I'm not gonna mark it though, because you're still waiting for a new high. But you can clearly see that the bulls are very weak. Every time bulls try to rally the market up, they get rejected quickly. So I thought this was going to be a good lower high to go lower. I didn't get filled, but I don't want any beginners to take this. And this is where you should go short, and this is what I took. First entry short, pullback. Second entry short of the EMA. Quick, easy scalp. First entry short, second entry short. Market moves in twos. Remember. Um, and prices. I don't see any setup here. At this point, you gotta break new high. So I'm not thinking long. Prices kind of topped out. That's a word. And we hit a first entry, but you don't want to take this even though it's off the trend line. This is first entry. Look how far away you're from EMA, and look, there's a small trend line walking higher. So you want to wait. This is the difference between this setup and this setup. This was at least second entry, so there is much more way. There's much more probability this trade is going to work. This is only first entry, so even though it's off the trend line, this is only first entry, so there's a low probability. And this one was of the EMA as well. The EMA works as a resistance and a support. We can use it that way. So price action rules, you get a break of the trend line, you get a new high. But overall, the bulls got very rejected, and once again, we're heading to this support line. This almost acts like a magnet this whole day because prices are trying to get lower to this. So this was a good, bounce for the EMA. You're looking for a trend, you're looking for a new retest, and it's a second entry. Then this is a little bit congestion. Prices are stacking up. You don't want to trade this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars side by side. The EMA is flat. And the way you trade congestions, you trade it the same way as you trade trading ranges. You fade the breakout. So we're working higher. We got a correction sideways, break new high, and you got a break of this little trading range. And most breakouts of trading range fails. So this was a good entry. This is probably very hard for beginners trade because I remember when I started trading, this would be almost impossible for me to take because look at the bullish move. Look at the bullish move, and this is a very advanced trade. You're kind of really guessing here. You're really hoping the prices are going to spike down, but you have to follow the price action rules. You have to follow that after a break of a trend line, you get a new high, and you trade the congestion the same way you trade trading ranges. You fade the breakout. But I wouldn't be mad at you if you would have taken this. This was if you would not have taken this was a hard trade to take. the prices shut down really hard in the first entry short, second entry short, and look how the support is now acting as a resistance. And look how bulls are very weak. Once again, another attempt bulls to rally it higher, but they spiked quickly low. So this told me this move, basically the way how this bullish move failed. This is what's supposed to tell you that bears are in control and we're not going lower. And we're not going higher. Excuse me. So this was the second entry short. Bounce off the EMA. EMA once again looked like EMA rejected the price. The prices were printing on the chart very bullish. Touched the EMA and a lot of smart traders went short here. Retest of this previous support. And yeah, this was it for the day. I don't like trading the afternoon session, especially on Friday. You don't want to get chopped up and into this, and you can't exit your orders. So it's still almost 8 o'clock here anyway for me. So yeah, hopefully this was insightful to you. Hopefully you had a great weekend trading wise and in your personal life. And keep studying your charts at the weekend. I know I will. Even me, every weekend I go through my charts and I try to analyze what I did right, what I did wrong. This is the only way you're gonna improve. And this is like anything. Trading is a skill, and like professional athletes, they have to train, over time to be successful. You have to train over time to be successful because institutions and hedge funds, they're trying to take your money, and you don't want to give them your money without a fight. You want to be the one who's taking the money. So remember, study your charts at the weekend. This is gonna take hard work and dedication. Work on your mental side. You want to keep telling yourself that every trade has the potential of losing. You don't want to analyst paralysis. What it's called. You don't want to think that if you overanalyze, you're never gonna have losers. That's not the way to do it. Anyway, if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and you can check my live trading videos to show you, to prove you that I actually trade like this and I trade like the way I teach it, and you can do it and you can be profitable. Anyways, have a safe weekend. Bye guys.